Welcome back everyone, and thanks for joining me for today's flight brought to you by Type-Rating Pro. Today we're flying the inibuilds A350, and it's a special one because we're doing this flight in the brand new Type-Rating Pro A350 livery. A big shout out to FlightFlow who designed the livery. It looks absolutely fantastic, and also there is one coming for the A320, so stay tuned for that. In today's video, we'll be flying from London Gatwick to Copenhagen on the VATSIM network. You'll notice that traffic levels across Europe are very high, and Copenhagen in particular is extremely busy, as this flight takes place during the VATSIM Copenhagen evening event. The main focus of today's flight is fuel management. As we approach Copenhagen, we'll enter holding in a very busy airspace, and this gives us a great opportunity to look at how fuel decisions are made in real time. We'll cover topics such as holding, committing to a destination, diversion planning, and how to manage workload effectively when things start to get busy. We'll also touch on normal operations along the way, although today's flows are slightly compressed due to the length of the video. So if you are interested in a full start-to-finish A350 normal operations walkthrough, I'd recommend checking out my previous long-haul flight from Gatwick to Mauritius, where we go through everything in much more detail. So today's emphasis is very much on fuel management, diversion, decision making, and workload management in a realistic operational environment. So with that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy this flight. And Gatwick ground, Scandinavian 42 Alpha, requesting clearance to Copenhagen, QNH 997, and we have information Mike, A350-900.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, cleared to Copenhagen, frame 1 Zulu. Correction, Scandinavian 42 Alpha, apologies, I had somebody in my ear there. Cleared to Copenhagen, frame 1 Zulu departure, squawk 6003, QNH 994.
Cleared to Copenhagen, Frame 1 Zulu departure, squawk 6003 and QNH 994 hectopascals, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. Thank you for your patience.
Correct.
Okay, QNH 994, which is a little bit off what we calculated, so I will double check that. Just running the take performance again, 994 now. We'll compute that and we will, there should be no change, let's just see. So 67, 137, 137, 146. Amazing. Just going to send to FMS just to make sure.
EGKK at stand 28 with information.
Cool, so we've done the checklist and now we can request for push and start.
EG875, Gatwick ground, hello, cleared to Jersey, Inver 1 Zulu, squawk 1273, QNH 994 hectopascals.
Cleared Jersey via the Inver 1 Zulu departure, squawk 1273, QNH 994, EG875.
Correct. Break, EZ5674, correct.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, request push and start.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, just confirm your stand number.
We are stand 563, Scandinavian 42 Alpha.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, thanks, stand 5. Push and start approved, squawk 6003.
Stand 563, push and start approved, and we'll squawk 6003, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. Okay, so we will put the squawk in of 6003, and as we were cleared for the frame 1 Zulu departure, which we've got in there, QNH is 994, which we have set, and the squawk is 6003, which is in there as well. Frame 1 Zulu, the climb is 5,000 feet, so that is all set as well. Great, so now we've been cleared for the push and start, so the beacon light can come on, so that's lights. The door page, this should be armed, so that will be there soon. We tell the crew to arm the doors, And yeah, everything would come up armed here. So it's lights, doors, videos. We'd switch on the external and taxiing aid camera system here. And the pressure is checked, surveillance. We'll click default settings and move it to above. Thrust levers are idle, and we can do the before start checklist. So before start checklist, parking brake is set, takeoff speeds and thrusts. We'll check this, and no, we can just wait for that. And we'll check the PFD. Slides are, we'll imagine that the arms and nose or steering disconnect memo, we'll imagine that's that. Before start checklist complete. So nose right, tail left.
1253, QNH 994 hectopascals.
Parking brake is released.
Perfect, so clear to Düsseldorf on Odvik 2.
And we will just arm all doors. There we go. Great, so we can start the engine. So the engine mode selector is going to ignition. Starting engine 1.
This aircraft has Wi-Fi connection, which you can use in flight mode from the moment the doors are closed and until you leave the aircraft. In front of you, making sure not to block.
Please set parking brake.
So we're not moving, and the parking brake is set.
Waiting your
Starting number 2.
confirmation for a good engine start.
Takeoff and landing. Please ensure that your seatbelt is.
Okay, that's 2 good starts. We'll start the timer, and the engine mode selector go to normal. The APU bleed is off, and the APU is off. We don't need the engine anti-ice on just yet. It's pretty dry on the ground. The ground spoilers are armed. Rudder's trim is reset. Set flaps 1, and we'll check the status page.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Okay, and now that they are unlocking the gear, we can do the flight controls checks. So that's full up, full down, neutral,
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
full left,
Left is clear. Right is clear.
full right, neutral and the rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Great, we can see the woman with the pin. Good, wave her off, and we'll do the after start checklist. So after start checklist, anti-ice is off, flight controls are checked, and the ground clearance is received. After start checklist complete. Scandinavian 42 Alpha, request taxi.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, taxi to holding point Juliet 4 via Quebec Alpha, Lima, Romeo and Juliet.
Taxi holding point Juliet 4, Quebec Alpha, Lima, Romeo and Juliet, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. Okay, great, that is the taxi clearance received. We are clear on the left and clear on the right. So the nose can go to taxi, and let's just have a brief look. So it's to Juliet 4, which is right just near the threshold, and it was via Quebec Alpha, so along here, and then right onto Lima, and then the second left onto Romeo, and then Juliet all the way down. Great.
Gatwick ground, this is
So parking
Virgin
brakes
19 on stand 561, request radio check.
Virgin 19 Alpha, Gatwick ground, below the readability 5 on 121.805. Lufthansa 25 kilo. Stand 141.
And we'll do a brake check.
I might have one aircraft passing behind. I'll call you back in 2-3 minutes if that.
Roger.
EGKC75, have you got an estimation for taxi?
Pretty soon.
Start through system west.
Hello, 25 kilo being outbound EasyJet. Outbound EasyJet.
So we are turning right onto Juliet, which is going to be the first right. And then after that we can do our taxi flow. So we are clear on the left and clear on the right.
Would you still like me to hold a Juliet 7, EGKC75?
Next, just make it easy.
Hold to Juliet
Okay, now
4,
we can
EGKC75.
do our taxi flow, so the weather radar is coming on.
The
auto brake go to RTO.
Information November on board, type A350 900.
Jet the squawk, which was 6003, and we'll do the takeoff config. So takeoff config is showing normal.
Lufthansa 392,
I'll
go
do
around
the
slow, I'll call you back shortly, break. Lufthansa 25
taxi
kilo,
jet list,
141, traffic's passed behind
which
now.
is flap setting, config 1 plus F,
No problem for start.
and radar is on. Taxi jet list complete.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, contact Gatwick Tower 124.230, bye-bye.
124.230, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. Thanks for your help, good night.
Bye-bye, brakes, Lufthansa 392, cleared to...
124.230. Tower, hello, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. We're on Juliet, hold short Juliet 4.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, Gatwick Tower, hello, hold it Juliet 1.
Hold Juliet 1, Scandinavian 42 Alpha.
Rivet 60, plan to vacate Bravo 1 or later.
We'll plan to Bravo 1 or later, seatbelt 60.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, behind landing British Airways 777 at 5 miles via Juliet 1, line up 08 right behind.
Behind the landing British Airways, line up runway 08 right behind, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. Great, so once this British Airways has landed, we will have clearance, we have clearance to line up and wait behind. So strobes can come on.
Rivet 60, runway 08 right, cleared to land, wind.
Cabin crew, prepare for departure, and we'll do the lineup checklist.
Did you...
Lineup checklist. Cabin is secured for takeoff. Takeoff runway is runway 08 right full length. Pack 1 and 2 is on. Lineup checklist complete.
Hearings 27 Alpha, Gatwick Tower, roger.
Gatwick Tower, speedbird 60, vacating Bravo Romeo.
Good 60, thanks. Contact ground 121.805, bye-bye.
121.805, thanks so much, bye-bye.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, 08 right, cleared takeoff, southeast wind, 080 degrees, 8 knots.
Runway 08 right, cleared for takeoff, Scandinavian 42 Alpha.
Lufthansa 25 kilo, hold it, Juliet 1.
Great. As I take for clearance, let's go takeoff. So no halfway forward. And Manflex 67 SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust is set. .100 knots.
Hearings 27 Alpha, behind departing EasyJet, Airbus 320, V1, line up 08 right behind.
Rotate.
Juliet 1, line up behind the departing EasyJet aircraft on 08 right, reduce them.
Positive climb. Gear up. Nav. And we're Engage the autopilot now, AP1. Got climb. Thrust, declimb, auto thrust. And flaps 0. Speed checked, flaps 0.
Easy 875, 08 right, clear takeoff, wind 080 degrees, 8 knots.
Runway 08 right, clear to take off, EJ875.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, contact Gatwick Director 126.825, bye-bye.
126.825, Scandinavian 42 Alpha, thanks, bye-bye.
Just under 25 kilo, behind, departing 0 wing, service 320, Juliet 1, minus 0 right behind.
And we've retracted the flaps, ground spoilers, disarmed. Director, hello, Scandinavian 42 Alpha, passing 3,700, climbing 5,000 feet, frame 1 Zulu.
Scandinavian 42 Alpha, Gatwick Director, hello, and reaching maintain altitude 5,000 feet.
Maintain 5,000 upon reaching, Scandinavian 42 Alpha. Okay, so speed VS, just because we're approaching the level off altitude, anti-ice can come on.
Degrees.
Ground control, good evening, Euro 141, flight level 320.
Euro 141, hello, it's Summon.
Direct Summon 1 Charlie, right with Euro 141.
Osprey 126 Bravo, left heading 290 degrees.
610 degrees on the heading, Osprey 126.
With Mike. A-line 6 Echo Mike, flight heading 345.
Flight heading 345, A-line 6 Echo Mike.
Virgin 1738, resume navigation Elbos, reduce to 270 knots.
Mac out star. Out. Great, so we are at our cruise now. I don't think we're going to get flight level 410, so I'm just going to update this to 390. So there we go, out cruise. And just a few things that we need to do once we reach out cruise. Firstly, TCAS mode selector can go to below. And then we're just going to check through the SD pages here. We can do this a few ways. So we can do it turning this controller here. So if I just show you by turning this, it's going to change all the pages. Or we can press and hold all, and that's going to skip through the pages. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is looking good and as expected, nothing abnormal. We'll work through the navigation log as well, making sure that the fuel is as expected, that we are reaching the waypoints at our planned time, and that there is no fuel leak either, which there isn't. And it's quite a short cruise, this one. So we can see the top of descent is at 9:30, so in half an hour. So what we're going to do is we're already going to start planning for our descent. So for that, we use the acronym WCLFAB. So W is weather. So we'll get the weather in Copenhagen. So we can see that the weather in Copenhagen is currently 100 at 17, ordinary sort of visibility, no cloud detected. Temperature is -4 and QNH 1019. There's tempo that it's gusting from 100 degrees, 18 gusting 28 knots. So that should be interesting. So that's the weather, and then we'll get the charts. We can pre-select the QNH is 1019. So we're not actually pulling anything here. We're just going to turn this knob here. So 1019, pre-select 1019. That means that we don't need to do it later when we're in the descent. For the ISIS, we had to actually just change it by coming out of standard for a second. Set 1019, press it again. Cool, weather. Charts, we'll be doing the Tudlow for Alpha. So the arrival is going to be for runway 04 left. And we'll take the ILS approach, runway 04 left. We'll take it for 04 right as well, just in case. And we'll put the APC and also the AGC. So there's the AGC, there it is. Great. So we'll have a look at what we have pinned, and this is, we can unpin this for Gatwick now because we don't need it. But yeah, we have got the ILS approach for runway 04 left. That's what we're planning on doing. So that's weather, charts, landing performance. So we'll do the landing performance, click sync FMS here, and then this will sync it with Copenhagen 04 left, and we'll check the runway length now. So if we go on the chart here, we can see that runway length is 3001 meters. So we're just going to change this 3001. Not that it makes too much of a difference today because performance is good. And then we'll sync the latest weather. So that's all good. We'll do wet just to be a little bit more conservative, and we'll initially compute with no reverse. And we can see that runway 04 left, our landing distance required is just under 1,500 meters. So that's using half of the runway. So the factored landing distance takes us to 1,724 meters, which is well within the runway length available. So that's weather, charts, landing performance. FMS we have set up for an arrival into runway 04 left. For this now, so the flight plan has been updated. Performance, we can put in our approach speed. Again, we've modified this approach, this speed. We'll put it at 300 knots. 320 is a little fast. The approach, we've got the latest wind there. As you can see, it is pretty windy today. And we said that the temperature was -5. QNH 1019. The minimums 220. We're going for a config, landing config full, and go around an acceleration altitude are fine as well. For the fuel node, that is all checked. The position monitor is looking good, and GNSS is fine as well. It's secondary, we don't need anything. We can delete this now. Secondary 2 and 3 are fine. So that's the FMS done. So the A is ANF, so we'll set up the brake to vacate now. But first we need to contact Maastricht on 136.465, so let's do that now.
Descent to flight level 280, rate 2000 or more.
2000 or more to flight level 280, November, Juliet Hotel.
Radar, hello, Scandinavian 42 Bravo, we're flight level 390 inbound Billund.
Call back in a second, Ryder 10 Bravo Julie, you're on a right turn again, please verify your inbound to D0.
We are inbound to Dino, Ryder 10 Bravo Juliet.
Okay, Scandinavian 42 Bravo, Maastricht identified. Good evening, direct Tudlow.
Direct to Tudlow, Scandinavian 40 Bravo. So we'll click on Tudlow from present position, direct to, and we'll put direct with the beams. And that's basically by putting direct to a beams. If we insert that, we can see what other waypoints on the flight plan we pass a beam to, so that's pretty good. And it's just good if you're making a navlog and you need to record your fuel at certain waypoints, then using the beam function is really good.
Module Hotel, confirm you're inbound to guest car.
Affirmative, direct guest car.
So the A stands for ANF, Airport Navigation Function. So to do this, we select Zoom, and if we move it over to plan mode here. So here we have Copenhagen, and if we zoom a bit more, then we can see that runway 04 left is pre-selected. We check the length, 357 meters, which is the length of the entire runway, and dry sec. So here is where we can select the runway conditions. So we know that it's dry in Copenhagen today. If it was wet, we would simply turn this knob here and select wet. And the amazing thing about the A350 is that you can use the BTV function on contaminated runways. So we've got compacted snow and snow, water, slush, and ice. And you can see as we change the runway condition code, the stopping distance gets further. But today it is dry, so that's fine. And then we just need to zoom in a bit more and select a suitable runway exit. So today we'll plan to vacate at Alpha 6. So set BTV exits. We'd click set BTV exit, and then it says here exit Alpha 6. The stopping distance, which is 2,164 meters. ROT is runway occupancy time, which is 67 seconds, and the turnaround time, if we use max reverse, 51 minutes, and if we use idle reverse, 69 minutes. So we can select auto brake here, and now we've got BTV. So that's weather, charts, landing performance, FMS, the ANF, and B is the briefing. So to save time, today we won't do a full in-depth briefing, but the crew would discuss the overview, which is obviously the ILS approach for runway 04 left in Copenhagen. They may want to discuss the potential taxi en route as well. We talk about the threats. So the threats today is that the airspace is very busy. So we're likely to use vertical speed in the last 2,000 feet. And then also weather-wise, those current winds, there's a potential for wind shear. So again, the crew might want to go through their memory items for wind shear. And then also we talk about the how. So we'd agree on when the aircraft will be fully configured. We'd review our stabilized approach criteria and also discuss the planned use of the autopilot. And then also we'd cover any additional points that the crew feel are relevant for today's approach. Radar, hello, Scandinavian 42 Bravo Heavy with you, flight level 390 inbound Tudlow.
Scandinavian 42 Bravo, good evening, Copenhagen control identified. Cleared Tudlow 42 Bravo, correction, cleared Tudlow 4 Alpha arrival, expect landing runway 04 left.
Cleared Tudlow 4 Alpha arrival, expect 04 left, Scandinavian 42 Bravo.
And 42 Bravo, descent when ready, flight level 290.
Descend when ready, flight level 290, Scandinavian 42 Bravo.
And also Scandinavian 42 Bravo at Lucas joined the hold as published.
At Lucas joined the hold as published, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Okay, so a few things there. It's pretty busy in Copenhagen. But firstly, he cleared us, as expected, Tudlow 4 Alpha for runway 04 left, the ILS approach there. And Lugas is where we're clear to hold. So let's bring up the terminal chart there. And he's also descended us when ready, which is flight level 290 blue. So Lugas, we can find on the star. And Lugas as hold, we can see Tudlow 4 Alpha 073 inbound turn left turns. So we're going to click on Lugas.
LM3 Yankee Quebec, good
Hold.
evening, Copenhagen control radar.
Inbound course is 073. And it's left turns. Great, so 073 left turns at Lugas, that is checked, and we will temporary flight plan, temporary insert temporary. And we can begin our descent now. So we got thrusters, so Mac Des flight level 290 blue. At this point, it became clear just how busy Copenhagen was. Looking at the fuel situation, we could see that there wasn't much flexibility left. In fact, we had approximately 12 minutes of holding time available before a decision would be required. Fuel planning varies slightly from company to company, but the underlying principles are the same. Fuel is broken down into several components, each with a specific purpose. First, we have alternate fuel. This is the fuel required to carry out a missed approach from the destination at minima, in this case from the ILS 04 left in Copenhagen. It includes the complete missed approach procedure, the climb from the missed approach altitude to a suitable cruising level, cruise along the expected routing, descent to the alternate, and finally the approach and landing at the destination alternate. Next is the final reserve fuel. This is the fuel required to fly for 30 minutes at holding speed at 1,500 feet above aerodrome elevation in standard conditions based on the estimated aircraft mass on arrival at the alternate. In addition to this, we have extra fuel, which is carried to account for anticipated delays or specific operational considerations such as weather, congestion, or fuel tankering. In this case, some extra fuel was carried, but as we can see, Copenhagen is significantly busier than expected, and the available holding time is limited. At this stage, the important part is building the overall picture and thinking ahead. We don't yet know the full extent of the delay. So while we can continue into the hold, we also need to be actively considering both Plan A and Plan B. The key is to anticipate the decision early, rather than waiting until it becomes urgent. This kind of forward planning is a critical pilot skill, an essential part of fuel management.
Channel 42 Bravo, contact Copenhagen 133.155. So long.
133.15 Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Thanks, bye. Copenhagen, hello, Scandinavian 42 Bravo, descending level 290 inbound Tudlow. And Scandinavian 42 Bravo, can you just confirm next frequency, please?
FM, sir, 133.155.
133.155. Scandinavian 40 Bravo, thanks. Copenhagen, hello, Scandinavian 42 Bravo Heavy, descending level 290, inbound Tudlow.
42 Bravo Heavy, Quebec control level identified. Descent flight level 190.
Descent level 190, and will we still be needing to hold at Lugas, Scandinavian 40 Bravo?
40 Bravo, affirmative.
Okay, so flight level 190 blue, we're still holding at Lugas, so I'm going to go thrust idle open descent. And just to change it, because the weather is -5 degrees there, so we're going to set 240 feet, as it is cold weather corrections.
42 Bravo, continue to flight level 140.
Continue descent level 140, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Flight level 140 blue. And we're going to reduce the speed now, 240 knots.
Contacting control KLM 592.
K592, correct control, hello.
Hello, I'm very low of fuel and I have a missed approach. Any help?
K592, did you not get any frequency from the tower?
Scandinavian 42 Bravo, do you have an estimated approach time for us?
It will be, I have one shorter for you. 60 Bravo Zulu, exit to hold direct. I shall forward to Bravo, expect a release at 2030.
Okay, so I did actually change the time slightly to make it a day flight rather than a night flight. So 2030 in the real world is in 8 minutes time from now. So that means we can expect to hold for 8 minutes more and then rejoin the arrival for Copenhagen. So what does this mean for us? Now, fuel and diversion policies vary slightly from company to company, but the underlying principles are consistent across airline operations. Before committing to the destination, the commander must actively assess any anticipated delay and all prevailing operational factors. This includes requesting delay information from ATC, evaluating traffic levels, weather conditions, and any other factors that could affect the ability to achieve a safe landing. In this case, Copenhagen was very busy, so I requested delay information from ATC and was advised to expect approximately 8 more minutes of holding. The weather was within limits, there were no wind shear reports, and the runway was available. Based on this information, I confirmed that a safe landing could still be achieved without landing below final reserve fuel, and therefore could legally commit to Copenhagen. As always, the decision remained under continuous review. Fuel predictions and conditions were monitored closely, and Billund remained a viable plan B should the situation change.
Car 5 and 9 up to the left,
Bravo Zulu back with you, heading 270.
So something else I wanted to share today was calls to ATC regarding your fuel on board. When it comes to fuel calls to ATC, there are 2 important phrases to understand: minimum fuel and mayday fuel, and they mean very different things. A minimum fuel call is used when you have committed to landing at a specific aerodrome and you've calculated that any further delay, such as extra holding, vectors or sequencing, could result in landing with less than your final reserve fuel. It's not an emergency, but it tells ATC that you can no longer accept additional delay, whilst a mayday fuel call is only made if you calculate that you will land with less than your final reserve fuel at the nearest suitable aerodrome. At that point, fuel has become an emergency and you are requesting immediate priority to ensure a safe landing. So therefore, if you declare minimum fuel and then ATC delay you even further, you will now have to declare mayday fuel as you are going to land below your final reserve. So I hope that makes sense, and whether you're flying on VATSIM or in the real world, it's important to know what these calls mean and when to make these calls to ATC.
Copenhagen, good evening, Golf Juliet Kilo Bravo Kilo is with you, flight level 120 for 190, direct to Nexum.
Golf Juliet Kilo Bravo Kilo, Copenhagen, control hello, identified, climb flight level 200.
Flight level 200, Golf Bravo Kilo.
Copenhagen Control, KLM 1274.
1274, go ahead.
Yes, we have a fuel indication issue, and I would like to request a hold, for example, at Lango or similar, until we sort things out.
Come on, 274, roger, proceed direct Lango and enter the hold at Lango on Copenhagen and a 1 minute on a left turn.
Enter hold at Lango, 1 minute left turn, KLM 1274.
Scandinavian 42 Bravo, any update on our EAT?
Ska 42 Bravo. Currently, the final is a currently on a 33 nautical miles, which is way too long what we usually is. I have a update coming up very shortly.
At this point, we had already been holding for longer than the 8 minutes initially advised by ATC. That naturally triggers another reassessment. The key questions now are, how much longer might we have to hold, and how will that affect our fuel state? Looking at the fuel situation, we can see that we still have sufficient fuel to divert to Billund, which is our alternate. The alternate fuel shows 3 tons, but it's important to remember how that fuel is calculated. It assumes a missed approach from Copenhagen, a climb back to cruise altitude, and then a full diversion to Billund. In our case, we're already established in the hold at 14,000 feet, which means a diversion from here would actually require less fuel than originally planned. That tells us that if we divert now, or very shortly, we will still land above final reserve fuel. And because of that, a diversion to Billund is starting to look more likely, especially if ATC is now unable to provide an updated estimated approach time or clear guidance on how much longer the delay will be. At this stage, I start preparing for that possibility by reviewing the charts and setting up the secondary flight plan to Billund. I can use the alternate routing from the OFP to help with this, which gives us a good indication of flight time and fuel required. Even if we don't end up diverting, doing this early significantly reduces workload if the decision does need to be made later. It's important to stress that this doesn't mean we are definitely diverting yet. We still have the option to hold for a little longer. However, if we don't receive clear delay information soon, then diverting to Billund becomes the safer and more predictable option. You'll also notice the destination estimated fuel on board amber message. This appears when the predicted fuel drops below the value set for alternate plus final reserve fuel that we have inserted in the FMS. It's a useful visual cue that reinforces the need to actively manage the situation and stay ahead of the decision.
Ska 42 Bravo, the last thing I have been told, which was about 2 minutes ago, is a 5 minutes delay.
Okay, so 5 minute delay realistically, we're looking at 5 minutes. He's already given us one EAT, which has been incorrect. With our current fuel state at 4.7 tons, if we divert to Billund now, we're going to be above our final reserve. However, if we continue to hold 5 more minutes, then we have to get a vector towards Copenhagen, and then even after that, we don't exactly know how busy Copenhagen is. So I think, considering those factors, it's much safer just to divert to Billund, and then we can refuel in Billund and fly to Copenhagen. And Scandinavian 42 Bravo, we would like to divert to Billund and requesting an initial vector.
42 Bravo, roger, no worries. 10 left heading 275, it's going to be vectors for runway 09er.
Thank you, left heading 275, vectors 09er, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Okay, heading. And what we're going to do now is we're going to activate the secondary. So swapping active, confirm, and now we have got Billund, runway 09,
Copenhagen radar for the Lufthansa 1945.
And let's clean this up. Course in.
Yeah, sorry to bother you, but we are just expecting a 04 right for landing. Is that still correct? Because everybody's going for runway 12, and I think it's a bit shorter than the other runway, isn't it?
And also 1945, due to aircraft type, the A380 is only allowed to use one runway in Copenhagen, and that is the runway 04 right, 22 left.
Okay, Roger. So do we have to wait then until everyone is finished from runway 12? Because I think that's going to take half an hour or more.
To be fair, I have no idea.
Okay, because we are now holding for about half an hour or longer, and also our fuel isn't infinitive. So is there something we can do to get an earlier approach?
1945. I have tried a couple of times to see if they're able to get Markov into the TMA, and they have been denying me.
Cool.
Okay, I understand.
Pulling, that's heading. Okay, so everyone's kind of getting a bit short on fuel, but now we've got a plan. And yeah, obviously not ideal, but this is unfortunately how it is. So with this fuel state, let's see, let it update the fuel plan. It's fuel planning, so it's currently saying 4 tons, which is maybe a bit unrealistic.
Air 42 Bravo, contact Copenhagen control at 136.555.
136.555, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Thank you very much, sir. Good work.
Golf to the kilo.
Copenhagen, Scandinavian 42 Bravo on heading 275 for ILS runway 09, Billund.
Scandinavian 42 Bravo, good evening, Copenhagen control, radar contact. Fly a heading of 280 degrees. You can expect the ILS Zulu runway 099 Billund.
Fly heading 280, expect ILS Zulu runway 09. Any speed control, Scandinavian 42 Bravo?
Negative, sir. Just full max it out.
Okay. Okay. So we're flying 260 now, and I appreciate this is going to burn a little bit more fuel. But now we can update the charts.
Normal 8C advisory 122.8
into Billund. So quick recap of this. So it's going to be a standard ILS approach for runway 09 into Billund. So we have pinned the charts, and we also need to pin the AGC charts. And so we'll just go through our acronym again. So weather, we have got the latest weather. So in Billund, it's now showing the latest weather is 080 at 17. The temperature is -4. And QNH 1014. The minimums, we have put in 440 feet. We have corrected this using the cold weather corrections, so added 20 feet, and we are landing with config full. So that's weather. We'll change this to 1014. So the charts we have set up now for Billund, so we can remove all the Copenhagen ones. And we've got Billund here, so cool. So weather charts landing performance, we'll just update our landing performance. So if we click sync FMS, sync weather. So with this, and again, brake mode manual, no reverse, compute, and we've got more than enough landing distance. So weather charts landing performance, FMS, we have just updated the FMS here. And we have put in the ILS approach here.
Scandinavian 42 Bravo, would you be able to go to Gifna, Golf, India, Victor, November, Alpha?
Givna, Scandinavian 42 Bravo, of course.
Thank you, sir.
Givna, which we will insert, direct. So, nav to Givna. And as you can see now, so on our fuel and load, our final reserve is 2.2 tons, right? So we are landing with 3.5 tons, maybe a little bit close to 3, but that's fine for us because, yeah, we know that that is above 2.2 tons, that is above our final reserve, so there's no need to put in a Mayday call, and there's no need to put in a minimum fuel call either. Cool, so weather charts landing performance is done.
Bravo, descend flight level 70.
Descend level 70, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Okay, I'm going to bring us down in a gradual descent here, so VS 1000, flight level 70 Blue. So weather charts landing performance is done, FMS is done, and then the ANF we can do, so again moving it to plan. So here we need to go on, it's currently showing Copenhagen still, we've got 04 left, so airport select and Billund. Cool, so runway 09, which we're doing, and we know because it is highlighted 09. The runway length we would check as well, 3,100 meters is the length of the runway. And we can see that the dry line is here, and then after that we're going to vacate to the left at Mike. So we can click Mike as the exit, set BTV exit, and again we can see the landing distance 2,196 meters, runway occupancy time 69 seconds, and the turnaround is 39 minutes and 59 minutes with idle reverse. Now, to help manage this diversion, I'm going to use one of the tools we've developed at Type Rating Pro, and that's our Diversion Checklist Aid Memoir. This is part of the course content and sits alongside the videos, as well as a range of other cheat sheets covering things like cold weather operations, R&P approaches, failure management, rejected takeoffs, and many more. The first item is weather. We confirm that the weather is suitable for the aircraft's landing capability. In this case, there are no low visibility procedures in force, the wind is well within limits, and there is no significant convective weather in the area. There are also no failures affecting our landing capability, so the weather is suitable. Next are NOTAMs. We check whether there have been any NOTAMs that would prevent a landing at Billund. These would normally have been reviewed before departure, and also when diverting, it's good to quickly reassess them. In this case, there are no limiting NOTAMs. We then look at landing performance. This includes calculating landing performance for the current conditions and considering whether any failures need to be included. We also confirm whether an overweight landing applies. Here, we've completed the landing performance calculation, we have plenty of runway available, and an overweight landing is not required. The next consideration is post-landing actions. Once we land, will we stop on the runway or will we vacate normally? In this case, there are no technical issues that would prevent us from vacating, so we'll clear the runway and taxi to stand as normal. We then need to think about services. Do we require any medical or emergency services on arrival? Today, the answer is no, but if we did, this would be the point to coordinate that with ATC. After that come the company considerations, which are often hardest to manage. What happens to the passengers? Will they need a hotel or another flight? In this scenario, the most likely plan is to refuel in Billund and then continue to Copenhagen, so no overnight accommodation is expected. Because Billund is our nominated alternate, suitable maintenance is available and dispatch to Copenhagen is permitted. We also need to consider crew flight time limitations. On today's flight, this is our first sector and the duty length is well within limits, so it's not a factor. However, on a longer or multi-sector days, or during very early or late duties, this can become a critical consideration and must always be checked. Finally, we think about what happens if we go around. Do we have the performance and fuel to manage it, and what is our plan B? In today's case, a go-around would likely mean entering final reserve fuel. Because of that, once established on the approach, we would advise ATC that we are minimum fuel. If a go-around were required, then the plan would be to request immediate vectors for another ILS approach rather than diverting again. So working through this checklist improves situational awareness, reduces our workload, and ensures both pilots are sharing the same mental model. This doesn't replace SOPs, and it doesn't have to be followed word for word. You can adapt it, remove items, or add your own. But having a structured diversion checklist like this is a very effective way of making sure the important considerations aren't missed when workload is high.
Scanner 42 Bravo via Gifna, cleared ILS approach runway 09. Descent altitude 3,000 feet, QNH Billund 1014.
Via Gifna, cleared ILS approach runway 09 and descend altitude 3,000 feet, QNH 1014, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Great, so
Command control.
let's have a look of where we are. So
diverted to
VS 1000, 3000 blue, QNH 1014 is set passing 11,200 feet.
Copenhagen control. You can expect the ILS Zulu runway 09
and via Givner, so he said clear for the ILS approach. So we'll put that via Givner. Insert that. Insert temporary.
KLM 592.
KLM 592, turn right, heading 290 degrees.
Runway 09. ILS Zulu via Givner. There we go. Insert that. So still on nav.
Copenhagen, hello again, easy 63 Bravo Zulu. We are.
Wow, everyone's diverting to Billund now.
63 Bravo Zulu, hello again, Copenhagen control. Radar contact.
So Mike set BTV exits.
Runway 09 in Billund. If able, proceed direct Gifna, Golf, India, Victor, November, Alpha.
Managing a diversion is very similar to managing a failure, especially when it comes to task management. We can break it down into technical and non-technical tasks. On the technical side, that includes setting up the FMS, preparing the charts, completing the landing performance, and running the required checklists, all of which we're doing as needed. On the non-technical side, I like to use the 5 C's. The first one is the cockpit, which is us. Are we clear on the plan and sharing the same mental model? Next is the controller, which is ATC. Have we informed ATC of our intentions and any other further requirements? The cabin, so we need to keep the cabin crew informed, either with a NITS brief or a simple update. The customer, which is the passengers. Here we should make a PA to let passengers know that we're diverting. And finally, the company, and we can advise them via ACARS so they can start planning what happens next. Okay, so we have got master caution, so we are currently descending to 3,000 feet. We've got speed VS, 3,000 is blue. I'm going to go manage descent now. 250 is selected. We are clear of weather, clear of traffic and clear of terrain. ATC don't need to be notified and cabin crew don't need to be alerted. So we've got master caution and fan failure, so we've got fuel, left wing tank level low. That's copied. We can see the fuel is getting a little bit low now, but we are diverting and we are going to be above our final reserve fuel, which is the most important thing. So, ECAM actions. Fuel leak suspected. The answer to that is no, so we can set no. Crossfeed A on. Crossfeed A on. Crossfeed B on. Crossfeed B on. Clear fuel. Clear fuel.
63 Bravo Zulu, descent altitude 4,000
actions complete. Okay, so we know why that is. And, yeah, we are pretty low on fuel now, but like I said, we're going to make it just above our final reserve now.
LM 592, descent 3,000 feet.
Descending 3000 feet, KLM 592.
So put this on. We'll put the landing lights on and we'll do the approach. Just before we do that, we have fuel left and right, wing tank level low, which we know about. All the checks are complete. Yeah, clear fuel. Clear fuel. So approach checklist, Barrow ref, QNH 1014 set, minimum, Barrow 440 set, runway condition is dry 6, auto brake actually we'll change the runway condition to wet 5, and auto brake is BTV. Approach checklist complete.
KLM 592, we do speed.
So we're clear for the approach. So we have GS and Lock Blue land through dual, AP1 plus 2.
KLM 592, turn right heading 340 degrees.
Turning right heading 340 degrees, KLM 592.
295 directing to Billund.
KLM 1274, good evening, Copenhagen control.
And flaps 2, speed check, flap
Zulu, runway 09 in Billund.
Plan for ILS, Zulu 09 in Billund.
KLM 42 Bravo, contact tower 118, correction, contact tower 119005, happy landing.
Just confirm that's for Scandinavian 40 Bravo 119.005.
Affirm, sir.
Thank you, good evening. Cool. And that's GS Star. For the misapproach altitude, 3,000 feet is set. And let's check in with Tower. Tower, hello, Scandinavian 42 Bravo Heavy, ILS 09.
2,500.
Scandinavian 42 Bravo Heavy, Billund Tower, good evening. Wind 080 degrees 17 knots, runway 09, clear to land.
Runway 09, clear to land, and we are minimum fuel, Scandinavian 42 Bravo. Gear down. And flaps 3. Speed checked. Flap 3.
2,000.
And flaps 4. Speed checked. Flap 4. Great. And landing checklist. Landing checklist is complete. Cool, so we have done everything. We are configured. We have 2.9 tons, which is above our final reserve fuel, and we have clearance to land on runway 09. So we are looking in a good position now. So obviously, because of the situation, I'm going to make full use of the automation. So yeah, not disconnecting now, especially since it's quite gusty, letting the autopilot do it. And this obviously improves our workload management. So it seems like we diverted at the right time because other aircraft have followed, and yeah, now I think they're at least 2 or 3 behind us. So yeah, we're gonna at a good time.
1,000.
Passing through 1,000.
$500.
It's checked and autopilot coming off. Okay, no laughing.
400. 300. 100 above.
Checked.
Minimum.
Continue. Correct in that glide.
One 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
So, spoilers, reverse screen, BTV, and decel.
Triple Hotel, across taxi, would like forward special on this.
Stand by.
Skyline 42 Bravo, please exit at Leeton runway.
We'll go Scandinavian 42 Bravo, we'll take next left.
KLM 22 Hotel, taxi to hold the point Delta runway 09 via Foxtrot and Delta.
Influence 09 Delta, Foxtrot Delta, something?
KLM 22 Hotel, FM, Foxtrot Delta.
Thank you.
Okay, we are expediting as much as we can here.
And Billund approach KLM 592 on final runway 09.
KLM 592, wind 080 degrees 17 knots, runway 09, cleared to land President traffic vacation runway.
Great. Clear right and clear left, so we'll make a left turn here.
Event 42 Bravo, welcome to Billund, taxi to stand 38 via Kilo and November.
Thank you very much. So 38 Kilo and November, Scandinavian 40 Bravo. Thanks for your help.
Scandinavian 40 Bravo, most welcome. Thanks for flight.
Tower hello, EKCH Bravo Zulu, 7.5 miles, 09.
Cool, so we are happy with where we are going. There's the other aircraft coming in.
Continue approach number 2, EKCH Bravo Zulu.
Kilo 592, please expedite vacation.
Great, okay, so we can do our after landing flow now, so I'm just going to slow this down right now since we're in no rush whatsoever. So firstly, I don't know why this ECAM appeared, but we can clear that. Cool, so we have vacated the runway, so the strobes can come off, or strobe set to auto, landing lights off, and nose to taxi. We'll disarm the spoilers. PM can retract the flaps. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start APU, because otherwise I will forget about it later.
EG63 Bravo Zulu, clear to land runway 09.
Clear to land 09, EG63 Bravo Zulu.
KLM 592, welcome to Billund, taxi to stand 40 via Kilo and November.
We're taxiing to...
Now we'll turn to the right here.
KLM 592, FM, stand 40 via Kilo and November.
40 via Kilo. 592.
KLM 22 Hotel behind the London traffic, line up on runway 09 behind.
Land.
This doesn't look like Copenhagen.
So the taxi light can come off, the APU has started, we've got the lead in here.
EGKK Bravo Zulu, welcome to Billund, taxi to stand 26 via Kilo and Foxtrot.
Kilo and Foxtrot to stand 26, EGKK Bravo Zulu, thanks for the help.
KLM 22 Hotel, wind 080 degrees, 18 knots, costing 28 knots, runway 09, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, at this point I'm going to run over this guy.
That was block taken, please KLM 2 with it.
I'm going to stop there because otherwise I will knock him over. There's parking brake set, we're not moving. The APU bleeds can come on. And we'll switch the engines off.
And confirm remain with you, whatever.
Cool, the engine's winding down, beacon is off, the doors...
128, roger, KLM 2 Hotel, yeah, I'm gonna get used to it.
Disarmed.
Thank you.
So doors disarmed, seatbelt signs can come off.
Have a pleasant night, bye-bye.
The
and thank you for your
fuel pumps can come off, and we can check the GNSS position. It's all good. Position monitor page is fine. And finally the serve is going to standby 2000. And we'll do the parking checklist. So parking brake or chocks, parking brake is set, wing lights are off. That's the parking checklist complete. Alright, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. As you saw, we didn't end up landing in Copenhagen. Instead, we diverted to Billund after reassessing the situation. The original plan was to commit to Copenhagen, but once ATC was no longer able to provide us an updated estimated approach time or any clear indication of how much longer the delay would be, diverting became the safer and more predictable option. We still landed with fuel above final reserve, so the outcome was both safe and legal, and it's a good example of how fuel management decisions are continuously reassessed as conditions change. Before we finish, I'd like to briefly tell you about something we're really excited to be launching very soon, and that's the A320 type rating course brought to you by Type Rating Pro. The course is almost ready, with the vast majority of the content already completed, and it will consist of initially 21 videos, combining both theoretical and practical explanations of key topics that you're likely to encounter during an A320 type rating. The course isn't designed to replace company manuals, but it works very well alongside them as a supplementary learning resource. In addition to the videos, the course will include cheat sheets, memory items, flashcards, quizzes, and access to a newsletter. Further down the line, we'll also be adding more content with the aim of expanding the course to over 30 videos covering a wide range of normal and abnormal operations. If you'd like a preview of some of the material included, you can see examples on the screen now, and we'll be sharing much more information about the course in the upcoming videos. This course is for trainee pilots, current line pilots, and aviation enthusiasts. We're genuinely very excited to bring this to you. And finally, if you've enjoyed the video and haven't already, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. There's plenty more exciting content coming very soon. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.